This is Rick's 1937 Stinson Reliant, and as soon as I get this tail wheel inner tube changed, I'll give you a tour. Success.
You need to give me your...
All right, we got the tail wheel fixed, and Rick's on his way to continue his trip on up to Idaho from Southern California after stopping by here for an overnight at Nevada County Airport. We just ran into him. I heard the round engine and said, I got to see this airplane, and it is really something. 1937, yeah, Stinson SR-9F. So it's the -9 model, F meaning Pratt & Whitney. So it's got the big engine mod, or the big engine that the different models had, the Lycoming 300, and this is the civilian version. And Rick, of these civilian versions, there's only a handful of these civilian versions.
There's 25 Reliants that are the SR series, still left flying, and there's about 25 of the V-77, which was the military ones, then went over to Britain and came back on Lend-Lease. The V-77 was a military, simpler. They did a lot of things to cut costs on it, so they're not as desirable as the Reliants.
That's right, the civilian Reliant. So 1937, first owned by a female, Mary...
Catherine May Edwards.
Catherine May Edwards.
Out of Pittsburgh.
And she was able to afford this brand new.
Yeah.
Wow.
They sold for $18,000 in 1937. You could buy a house for $4,000. So she owned small town newspapers, and her granddaddy was a rich Pittsburgh banker.
And then World War II came along, and like everything at World War II, something like this, they all got confiscated for the war, and so the government guy hands her a check.
Yep.
And takes the plane, and it ends up where?
At a Republic aircraft plant in Evansville, Indiana, where they were building P-47s. And at the end of the war, the Republic chief test pilot, buys the airplane from the company, and Catherine May Edwards chases him down and says, "You have my airplane, I want it back." And he said, "I like it, I don't want to sell it." So she ends up giving him double what he paid for it. He paid $15,000 for it, and she gave him $30,000 plus the Fairchild 24 she had bought as a replacement to get her airplane back.
And at the Republic factory, they were using it to shuttle VIPs around. They're building P-47s.
Yep. And they would check out. It'd be a check ride for production test pilots.
Because single-seat aircraft, P-47, this is the closest thing they had, I guess. Yeah. Wow. And then now over the years, we've seen this airplane at Reno. I saw it there 2019, I think.
Yep.
Won People's Choice.
We won People's Choice one year. We won Best Classic and Best Antique because they changed the age categories for it. So we've got 3 trophies from Reno, the NAHI Smithsonian sponsored event. And we've got Bronze Lindy from Oshkosh years ago. So we're kind of trophied up.
Yeah, yeah, and you've seen this at Oshkosh a lot. Now, Rick is an interesting guy, and his brother are both from Lockheed. And if you watch the movie Battle of the X-Planes, or the TV thing on Nova, PBS, Battle of the X-Planes, you'll see it.
And it's on YouTube now.
And on YouTube now. Check it. I'll put the link below. You can see a young Rick telling the story about how you won the contract for the F-35 over Boeing.
I was chief engineer on the X-35 project, about 500 engineers, awesome people all working for us. And we had a very dedicated staff, and we were not going to be beaten by Boeing, no way, no how. So our hat trick logo came from, we're going to win the Air Force competition, the Marine Corps competition, and the Navy competition. We're going to win all 3. And we did. And
that was Boeing. That was that Scott Muhlenberg guy that went on the 737.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis Muhlenberg later became CEO. He was chief engineer on the Boeing losing X-32.
Yeah. And then
737
MAX fame. See that series on the Blanco Lirio channel. All right, real interesting guy. We had a great evening of telling all these stories, but let's show you around this aircraft.
While I put stuff away.
Yeah, well, he gets ready for his trip here. Okay, so this is a What's the name of the rebuild place?
Rare Aircraft.
Rare Aircraft Restoration. And so this all started with a fuel leak in a fuel tank, ended up with a full recover and repaint of this entire aircraft by Rare Aircraft. You can see them on Trade-A-Plane and Barnstormers all the time doing these beautiful restorations. So here's the 985, 450 horsepower with the Hamilton Standard constant speed prop. What was that, 9-cylinder radial? There's your oil cooler down there, exhaust. It's got a very cushy suspension system for the landing gear. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 spring oleo struts up inside there that give these landing gear a really cushy ride. Looks like a cowl flap of some sort back here. Just great fit and finish in the 30s, man. Everything was Art Deco and just very well trimmed out. Now, the Reliant wing design is what makes this a gull wing, the famous gull wing design. So see how the wings taper down there at the root and get really big right here and taper down here. The major competition aircraft at the time was the Howard DGA, and Rick claims this to be even faster than a Howard DGA. There's the tail wheel we just replaced the inner tube to. Had a little hole in the inner tube. The famous logo for Stinson Reliant. There's the N number. If you look it up online there, you'll see pictures of it all over the place. And Rick, what was some of the engineering aspects of this wing you were saying that why it works so well?
Well, by thinning down the wing section going into the root, and they were able to do that with this one strut, single strut up to the spars, and the 2 spars inboard of that strut are a V, so the 3rd wing strut makes a tripod.
Oh.
So structurally it's a tripod, and they were able to thin down the airfoil coming into the fuselage. It allowed them to lower the overall fuselage height, so less frontal area, less cross-sectional area, and it's a thinner airfoil section at the fuselage, so less interference drag where it's lower velocity at that fuselage wing juncture, so lower drag.
Brilliant. And that makes this faster than the Howard DGA.
Faster than a Howard DGA, and I got about 30 more square foot of wing area than a Howard.
So you can glide and land better. Yeah. Brilliant design. Now let's take a look on the inside. So you always carry a lot of airborne spares with you when you're traveling cross country in these airplanes, and that's, fortunately, he had that spare inner tube. It's an old spare tail wheel. These steps were, I guess, were custom built for the original owner, Catherine, the lady. And look how thick these door panels and these fuselages are. All right, so classic Stinson. Remember the Stinson Detroiter video I did a while ago? Had these big airship style yokes, and look at those rudder pedals. Like 2 hot rod gas pedals on the left there.
Heel brakes.
Heel brakes. Oh, brilliant. Wow, that's why. Huh. And I assume that's a park and brake there on the left.
Yep.
And what do we got going here with the black knob in the middle?
That's a wobble pump.
Wobble pump for the fuel. Okay,
don't really need it because they're overhead tanks, you know, and it's all gravity feed.
Gravity feed on the fuel.
They put one on anyway.
So, throttle, flap control. Wait a minute. Are these flaps electric?
Pneumatic.
What? Pneumatic flaps?
In the back of the fuselage.
Holy cow! Pneumatic flaps.
And if the engine quits, I still got an air bottle full of air.
Huh.
Still use the flaps even if the engine's out.
Spare air. Wow. Show us those pneumatic flaps. Huh? Wow. All or nothing, but you can set it in between.
Nope.
Nope, it's all or nothing.
It's all or nothing.
Huh. And then, of course, the wood finish on the panel. And so when they recently recovered this airplane, they took it all the way down, including the headliner. But the interior they were able to preserve. There's your fuel tanks back there. It's a spare ladder down there.
For the mains.
Yep, sight gauge. So is it just wing tanks?
No, I've got 2 ox tanks that are 26 gallons each. There's a total of 130 gallons capacity.
130 gallons total. And those ox tanks, are they in the belly?
No, they're up here.
Up in the wings.
They're forward of the mains. Right.
Okay, so all your fuel is in the wings,
Yeah.
unlike the Howard that had
Box
it underneath.
tanks and then main tanks.
Now it's a steel truss spar, aluminum ribs, and then fabric covering, except for this bit over the fuel tank here.
Some of these weld joints have about a dozen welds all in one joint. It's just incredible.
Yeah, back when labor was cheap and quality was up, and the little roll down windows on the side. Is this elevator trim up here on the ceiling?
Elevator trim up top.
Yep. Wow, just beautiful.
Roll down cabin window on the side.
Oh, this rolls down too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One side rolls down.
Yeah. Like an antique car.
Yeah.
The Stinson SR-9.
Yeah.
The civilian model with the 985. Thanks for bringing her by, Rick.
You bet.
All right.
Thanks for all the help, Juan.
Sure.
You've been an amazing help and friend.
No sweat. Thanks for. Yeah, that was fun to help fix that up. So like all the round engines, you want to make sure there's no hydraulic lock, any oil leaking down into the bottom cylinders and seizing up the engine. So you gently pull the prop through and make sure there's no hydraulic lock. As you can see, the oil will just pour right out of the exhaust ports there.
It's happened to me twice.
That
I've had a hydraulic lock, and you gotta basically
pull
guess which cylinder.
Yep, and pull the plugs.
Plug,
Yep.
Let it drain.
Let it puke on the ramp.
Yeah, yep.
Clean up your mess. Clear.
Smell it. Look at that. Off to Idaho. Good to hear that.